Yo, what's going on, people? King Riches back again with another video. Yeah, and this is gonna be a very eye-opening video. When I came across this content, I was very shocked, but at the same time, it made a lot of sense. Right now, these couple videos I'm gonna react to come from the EX Ministries YouTube channel. A lot of us have probably already seen the video called "The Truth Behind Hip Hop." This was a video that came out a very long time ago, and it basically exposed a lot of the music industry, a lot of the spiritual aspect of the music industry. A lot of these artists are not who they claim to be or who they seem to be on screen. And this video here is focused on Michael Jackson. Now, Michael Jackson, the king of pop, a fan favorite amongst a lot of people, especially people in the black community. This video here, a lot of people are going to disagree with. They're not going to want to hear anything that's being said, but this is some serious stuff. So we're going to take a look at what was said in this video. Please make sure you like the video, leave comments after, hype the video, etc, etc. Let's jump into it. All right, and again, this comes from the EX Ministries YouTube channel, and yeah, let's jump into it.
The king of pop. Oh, I need a little time. But what my studies on this man has done is really summed everything that I've been preaching for the last 10 years up in the one person. On the surface, people cried and wept and mourned. Churches celebrated and wore a glove and sung. They sung his songs. And they didn't know that they were celebrating the most powerful Nephilim our music industry has ever seen. This ancient God that was in this man literally stole your heart.
Anyone who doesn't know what Nephilim is basically, Nephilim were the angels that came down in like Genesis times, and they slept with human women, and those human women bore children. Those children were half spirit, half human DNA, and those were giants. These were terrible creatures on the earth, and those were the Nephilim. All right. When those Nephilim, those bodies were destroyed, their spirits became demons. All right. Obviously, I'm somebody that does a lot of research in this kind of stuff, so I'll try and help you lot along if you don't know what is being talked about. Anyway, let's carry on
with some music. When he transformed himself into a woman, you didn't care. He stole your heart. When child molestation charges were brought up against him, you knew they were false because he stole your heart. When he bought the Beatles anthology so he could channel Aleister Crowley through it, he stole your heart.
Anyone who doesn't know, Aleister Crowley is a Satanist that lived a while ago, and a lot of the artists in the music industry, even today, they look up to him, revere him, and he was an out-and-out Satanist. He was into a lot of deviant things, like evil acts, rituals, etc, etc. And this is just disgusting. Anyway.
When he practiced witchcraft and became one of the most powerful channelers that we've ever seen, ever. Because when I look at Michael Jackson, I see artists that sell a few thousand, maybe even 1 million albums. And these guys destroy themselves. These guys sell themselves. These guys channel spirits, pray to Aleister Crowley, all of that. And I looked at him and I said, if they do all of that for 1 million records, what does it take to become the king of pop? The king of the devil's music. I'm going to show you. First thing Aleister Crowley teaches you in the 777 is to channel a powerful entity. Most of the time you get it out of a child. We'll talk about that later. But when this entity comes upon you, so what he did, he went and found the worshipers of Sybil, or we would say Cybele. Cybele was an ancient goddess. So those men that worshiped Cybele were different. They were called Corybantes. Now you've heard the term, man, you're acting like a Corybant, or you're acting Corybantes, which means wildly. But the group of men that cloned this phrase were worshipers of this goddess, Cybele. And let me describe these to you. Now, these are some notes from any old encyclopedia. Corybantes, they had their hair dressed and waved like women. They were heavily made up with their faces resembling whitewashed walls. They were castrated and keepers of children and infants, partaking in coming-of-age rituals and celebrations. They practiced magic and divination to make money. Listen to this. They made wild cries or high-pitched shrills while they performed their dances to the music of pipes and dull beats of the tambourine. Listen, when the deity or the goddess would enter into them, they were possessed by divine power. They would dance uncontrollably in ecstatic frenzy.
Isn't that crazy? Especially the part where it said their faces resembled whitewashed walls. And obviously we saw Michael Jackson turn from, you know, a traditional black person, and his face and his skin color turned white. Do you get what I'm saying? And then it goes on to say, you know, wild cries, high pitched shrills, and, you know, uncontrollable dancing. It's literally to a certain degree describing Michael Jackson. This is crazy, bro. Anyway, let's carry on.
Here are some pictures just so you can get a good look. And listen, y'all, please be serious with me. This is not funny at all. This man died in this, okay? This is not funny. But he literally got put on out magazines. But just as like Michael, the archangel, I mean, the Bible says that we were made in God's image and his likeness. So our look is not far from God's look. But right here, they've got Michael and trying to make you think this is like Michael, the archangel, some seductive looking angel, because he kept his face in an ambiguous fashion where he really was genderless. Corybantes. Let's go through some of his songs so you can kind of hear his signals, because they always have to signal you. We Are the World. There's a line in We Are the World that is so demonic it's hard to believe that folks sung this in their churches in celebration to Michael Jackson. And it's down here. Michael wrote this part. It says, send them your heart, so they'll know that someone cares, y'all know, and your lives will be stronger and free. Y'all remember that? Then he says, as God has shown us by turning stones to bread.
I want to say something. This is the thing about this music, rap songs, you know, R&B songs, etc. People don't really pay attention to what is actually being said in the lyrics. They just sing along because it's catchy and they like the beat, but they don't realize that sometimes these artists are saying very, very deviant or demonic or satanic things in their lyrics, and people are just singing along mindlessly. And this is very, very dangerous, because sometimes you are literally chanting curses into your own life. It's very dangerous. You got to be very aware of it. Anyway.
If Jesus had obeyed Satan and turn stones to bread, all of us would be lost right now. Folks didn't even get it. They waiting for me to finish the song. Here is a song where he's describing the Nephilim spirit in him and telling you that the end is near. This is a song called Another Part of Me. There he is dressed up like Evil Maria in the same thing like Beyonce wore. He said, we're taking over. We have the truth. This is the mission to see it through. Don't point your finger. Not dangerous. This is our planet. You're one of us. Okay, it sounds like he's talking something friendly or whatever, but listen. We're sending out a major love. This is our message to you. The planets are lining up. What does it mean in astrology? What does it mean in Greek mythology? What does it mean in the Mayans and the Sumerian cultures? All of these different cultures. What does it mean when the planets line up? That's the day that Nimrod comes and takes his throne and finishes the Tower of Babel, the uncapped pyramid. They are all in line waiting for you. Can't you see you're just another? Says in this song, nasty boogie bugs me like somebody has drugged me. The spellbound rhythm gets on my feet. I changed my life completely. I seen the lightning leave me. And my baby just can't take her eyes off me. Look, the magic music moves me. That dirty rhythm grooves me. The devil's got into me with his dance.
Wow. See what I'm saying? You got to be careful what you're listening to, bruh. You got to be careful what you're listening to. Like, a lot of these music artists, especially the most successful ones, the A-list ones, they are devil worshippers, bro. Like, they are worshiping demons. They're getting their inspiration from demons. They're getting their, their success from, the dark side. So, it's dangerous when you're listening to this kind of media, and especially if you're repeating it and chanting it, bro. Like, it's dangerous. Anyway.
They don't believe it, Pastor, because it's Michael. I'm full of funky fever. A fire burns inside me. Boogie got me in a super trance. Blame it on the boogie. Quincy Jones said that when he finished this song, he couldn't stop dancing. He ran out in the street and he was dancing uncontrollably. Oh, I'm not done. I haven't even started. There were 3 ways Michael Jackson would get his songs.
And I find it funny that people are leaving comments in the chat. Like, I had to time out one guy because he's just saying silly things in the chat, thinking he's funny. I don't find him funny at all. And another guy was saying, come on, King, this is BS. How do you know what is BS and what's not? Because you like somebody. See, the problem is with the masses is that if somebody is popular enough, if they're famous enough, if you like them, then that person is above the law. They can do whatever, they could never have done anything wrong or blah, blah, blah. A lot of people are straight up atheists and don't believe in anything. They don't believe in the spirit realm. They don't believe in anything, and you're entitled to believe what you want, but it doesn't mean you're right. And me personally, as somebody who's experienced, God's power in my life personally, and I've seen works of the devil happening in the real world, bro. Like, bro, I'm not really listening to no one that's an atheist. I'm not really listening, bro. And I'm just gonna start blocking people. Like, I'm just gonna start blocking people, bro. I don't know what's wrong with you people, bro. You can believe what you want.
You got to hear this part. Because I believe this is what led to Michael Jackson's death. I hope they come talk to me about it, because I'll give them some information from the Holy Ghost. I don't need a forensic scientist. Look at somebody and say, all you got to do is ask God. God laid this out to me as plain as day. The three ways Michael Jackson got his songs. The first way, Michael Jackson said, he told Martin Brashear on an interview that he would climb a tree called the Given Tree, tree of knowledge. Tree of knowledge. He'd climb this tree and he would get his songs. Second way, Aleister Crowley said in his book, 777, that he had a room of mirrors, and if you look into a mirror, you can look into yourself and you can channel the spirits of those that were before you. He's really saying that those that may have molested you or those that may have taken from you, you can bring them back and ask them to be your guide and tell you why they did what they did to you. So Michael Jackson created a mirror, a room of mirrors that he could go in and channel spirits. And Michael Jackson chose a specific spirit. He says this, he says, I have my own secret room with a moving wall and mirrors, okay? Same room that Aleister Crowley had. He says, this is where I talk to Liberace. I hear his voice in there. I feel his presence so very close to me. He's like my guardian angel. He even gave me permission to record his title, I'll Be Seeing You. That's in the Psychic News in 1987. Liberace? Homosexual. Flamboyant homosexual. You channel the spirit of the most flamboyant homosexual of our time? And the third way is the way I believe Michael Jackson died. He said that his best songs came in dreams. Michael Jackson would channel Morpheus, the god of dreams, who studied under Serapis Bey. Serapis Bey is the image that Catholics use as the image of Christ, but it's not. He has the Ra, the sun god, behind his head. He looks just like Christ, but it's not, just like Semiramis and Nimrod, that whole thing I told you about earlier. But he was an Egyptian incarnated God, so he would channel those spirits. He also channeled the spirits of Hypnos and Thanatos. Hypnos is the god of sleep. Thanatos is the god of death, and they're brothers along with Morpheus. Now, what becomes very dangerous about what Michael was doing, if you read, Michael Jackson would sleep sometimes 3 and 4 days at a time because he was trying to get hit songs. He even said one time that he couldn't go to sleep. He said a spirit told him that if he did not get to sleep to get this song, the spirit is going to give it to Prince. This is where the rivalry between him and Prince birthed in the 80s, if y'all remember that.
Now, again, a lot of people are going to think that this is far-fetched and this is some mumbo-jumbo and this guy don't know what he's talking about. But again, a lot of people these days are atheists. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in the devil. They don't believe anything. They just believe what they can see in front of them, which is very, very sad in my opinion, because it's very clear that there's more going on in reality than what we can see. But like this whole idea of channeling is something that a lot of people in media talk about doing. They talk about it. A lot of these actors, Denzel Washington's talked about it. And other actors and actresses have talked about how they've had to channel characters and at the end of the day, where do you think these invisible personalities come from? Come from the spirit realm. They're getting the inspiration from the spirit realm. And in my opinion is this, like, if you're not asking God to help you with something, then bro, wherever you're getting help from is gonna be the other side. So that's just that.
But Michael needed to sleep. So they began to sedate him heavily so he could sleep the amount of time he needed to sleep to get hits. But a 50-year-old body trying to do a world tour, hungry for the next hit song, the right dosage. I know some people are saying, well, you haven't really convinced me. I'm about to. Michael Jackson had 2 albums that told everything that he was doing. The first album he had that I'm going to show you is his history album. He built a statue of himself like Nebuchadnezzar because that Nephilim spirit in him wanted to be worshipped. But if you zoom into his arm, there's a number on his arm. And that number is 777.
Look at that. Now think about it. Why would Michael Jackson get a statue of himself created and then put 777 on his arm? A number that's associated with Aleister Crowley of all people. Like, this is why when people just argue and they're arguing out of emotion, they're arguing because they just, oh, I don't believe in this kind of stuff. The thing is that these people, these artists, these musicians, they believe in it. They believe in it heavily. So really and truly, it doesn't matter what you think, because these are the people that are creating this music. They're the ones that are doing the rituals. They're the ones that are casting spells in their songs and then delivering it to the masses. And then you, as an ignorant audience member, you just take on whatever they give to you. And you be like, oh, it doesn't exist. The devil doesn't exist. Demons don't exist. Blah, blah, blah. These people know that it exists and they use it. Why would he make a statue and put 777 on it, bro? Why? Anyway, let's carry on.
Aleister Crowley's book, 777. Quabalistic writings. Channel Nephilim spirits for fame. Get your songs from the devil. And we as a church cried and wept. Me and my wife was in Chicago when Michael Jackson died and turned on the TV. And Sweet Holy Spirit Church in Chicago came on TV and said, we're going to have a memorial service for Michael Jackson. The whole church wore one glove. The choir wore one glove. And they began to have altar call doing Man in the Mirror in the church, worshiping Michael Jackson in God's house.
And this is why I always talk about you shouldn't idol worship anyone. He's talking about a whole church did some memorial tribute to Michael Jackson, who, you know, by Pastor Craig's account, was channeling spirits to get hit songs. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. And this is why idol worshiping celebrities is so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad, man. Like, and listen, I'll be real. I was like everybody else. I used to love Michael Jackson. I used to love Tupac. I used to love listening to all these people, DMX and all these people, you know, like, but bruh, nah, bruh. See, like, now I understand this whole idea of worshiping these people, especially when they don't actually bring anything positive to the world. They just got their talent or whatever they're doing, and it's benefiting them financially. That's all it is. That's it. Anyway.
A channeler of Nephilim. What are our young people supposed to think when they're wrestling in the bed with stuff in the middle of the night? Night crawlers creeping in their room and sending signals and messages in them. And we as a church,
it's crazy, man. Big up to EX Ministries. Yeah, I think that was a really interesting video, to be honest. And yeah, again, as I said, a lot of people are going to watch this video and they're not going to agree with what was said. At the end of the day, I don't know everything. Um, but I use my mind to join dots. And if things sort of line up and start to make sense, then they line up and make sense, bro. Like, do you get what I'm saying? There was things that Pastor Craig said which were direct quotes from Michael Jackson himself. It wasn't that he's just completely making up stuff. There's stuff that he looked up in encyclopedias, and he was quoting him from his own words. So, boy, at the end of the day, Michael Jackson is just an example. Like, do you know what I mean? I think that most A-list celebrities, musicians, rappers, singers, pro athletes, actors, social media stars, reality TV stars, YouTubers, I think that they're all in this club. I think that this is a global network of people who worship demonic spirits, that are devil worshippers, blah, 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 who are doing rituals, who are doing sacrifices, whether they're sacrificing animals or even sacrificing their own loved ones, or they are doing rituals where they have to sleep with other people so that they can get fame and money. I honestly, truly believe that that's what's going on. I mean, think about it. There's some people out there that you lot know in personal life who are very talented, extremely talented, but they never get no opportunity to be that successful. They never seem to get that extra step. And then on the other hand, there's people that are far less talented, far less intelligent, who seem to always get the fast track. And then once they get in, all the other celebrities, they just flock to them. All the other celebrities are endorsing them and promoting them and pedestalizing them and giving them endorsement. Bro, it's by design. Like, it's not even a secret these days. If you look at most music videos by most of the popular artists, they're very, very satanic and demonic. Very, very anti-God, anti-Christ. Some of these music artists directly attack Christianity. They won't attack any other religion, but they will directly attack Christianity, bro. You got to think, why is it like that? Why is it that having faith in the Most High, the God of the Bible, why is that the number one target for all of these pagans? Why is that the number one target? Why don't they target all the other major religions? Why? Because the God of the Bible is the truth. And that's just, and I live by that. That's what I believe in it. Do you get what I'm saying? And again, I don't think I'm better than anyone. I'm not better than anyone. Yeah, I have my own problems, my own things. My own issues I'm trying to battle every day. But I just get this conviction in me to share these messages. I think they're very important. And I think that at least when you're listening to music, because I know a lot of you lot are addicted to listening to music, at least take a minute to actually read the lyrics of what you're singing along to or what you're listening to. Actually take time to read the lyrics. I think a lot of times you lot will be shocked by what is being said in these songs, in these raps, in these songs. You'll be shocked. Very, very dark, very, very demonic, very, very dysfunctional. What's even more scary is that a lot of this is ingested by the youth, people who are very impressionable. So yeah, I think that a lot of people may not agree with this, but do your own research. I always encourage you guys to do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. Don't just take anyone's word for anything. Do your own research and take a look. I personally like to research this kind of stuff because I believe it's real. And I think that the whole media, the music industry is very, very evil, to be honest. I think it is very, very evil, especially music industry. I don't think there's many, if any, exceptions in that. I think they're all, in this cult. I really do believe that. I said in another video that me personally as a YouTuber who, yeah, I have got a certain level of success on this platform. I've come to terms with the fact that probably I won't be one of those people who are really, really successful in this thing. You know, I had a friend of mine who said that to me before, and he's actually a pastor himself. And you know, he doesn't agree with everything I say, which is fine. Obviously, no one agrees with everything anyone says, you know, but he knows me personally, and he knows that, you know, I'm not a bad person at my core. I'm not malicious. You know, I say things in a certain way that can be vulgar, but I do believe what I'm saying is true. And he said to me that, bro, like the truth of the matter is you're saying a lot of real things which the general society is not gonna like. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you're going against the whole idea of goddess worship. um you know how society is so geared towards girl power. Women are, you know, women don't have to face accountability for anything they do. Even when they get caught out for doing something wrong, they're still right. It's everything's a man's fault, blah blah blah. And obviously I'm somebody that always, you know, pushes back at that. You know, um that's going against the machine, and the machine's not going to like that. And for instance, a lot of people who you would think would want to collaborate with you will never collaborate with you because they are a part of that machine, and they know that they don't want to get labeled or ostracized or outcasted out of that, because it's all about money, bro. Like, this is why anyone that's got any kind of popularity usually doesn't say anything that is real. They're literally just cartoon characters. They're not real. Me personally, I can't do that. I can't sell my soul. I'm not gonna sacrifice goats and any animals. I'm not gonna sacrifice any of my loved ones ever. I'm not gonna do that, and I'm not gonna let no one bend me over, and I'm not gonna suck on anything, bro. I'm sorry, it's not happening, fam. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, whatever I get, I know that God will provide. God has always provided in my life, even when I didn't deserve it. Uh, and this is as real as it gets. I just don't, bruh. This is why I don't really envy no one as well. I don't really envy people. I don't care what car someone's got, or what watch someone's got, or, you know, what girlfriend they got or not. I don't envy, because I know that that envy thing, that being jealous of other people, is what will lead individuals to go into the dark side of things. Now the next thing, they'll be going to witch doctors and tarot card readers and all these kind of people trying to get some kind of advantage. And I'm going to be doing more reaction videos on these kind of topics, because I actually find these topics very interesting personally. I think that a lot of people don't really understand what's going on in this society. You see, it's not all about girls and guys and battle of the sexes. It's not all about that, bro. There's a deeper meaning to that. In fact, there's a video I'm gonna react to where it talks about why there is such a divide between men and women these days, and why is it so many women are so difficult to deal with, and why so many of them, you know, they just girl power. Why so many women hate men these days. And there's a spiritual element to that, bro. Like, it's not just red pill, blue pill. It's just not. So I'm gonna be reacting to that video maybe tomorrow, the day after. um but yeah, I just want to say this to all you people watching: like, learn how to be humble and content and appreciate what you have. Yeah, it's okay to be ambitious. It's okay to, you know, try and work hard and, you know, reach goals and have goals and stuff like that. But, like, don't lose yourself, bro. Like, don't lose yourself in this race to become rich or something, or be famous and stuff like that. You got to be really careful, bro. If you're somebody who's desperate to become rich and famous, bro, that's somebody I definitely don't really want to be around them, because that's somebody that would definitely sacrifice you. 100%. They would sacrifice you, bro. Even if they're your family member, I wouldn't even want to be around them, bro. Like, they're too dangerous. How many of these celebrities did they lose their mom, or they lost their brother, or they lost their child, their own child, or something? Something's happened to somebody that's close to them. Then all of a sudden they become megastars. Do you think that's ordinary, bro? Do you think that's ordinary? Trust me, man. There's more to it than you think. It's not just what you see in this screen. There's more going on. A lot of these people, they're not what they perceive themselves to be. And you guys need to learn how to not be fans. Stop being fans. A fan is a fanatic. You see, that's why some people, they was watching this video and they had instant pushback before they'd even heard what was being said in this video, because it was talking about somebody they liked. They had instant pushback without even hearing any information. That's because they're fanatics. When you're a fanatic, you don't want to hear one bad word about that person you idolize, even if it's facts. Don't be a fanatic, bro. Don't be a fan of me. You can listen. It's okay to recognize somebody's talented, or to support what somebody's doing if you think that what they're doing is good, etc., etc. But don't be a fanatic. It's not healthy. People are sinners. People make mistakes. And really and truly, you don't really know who this person is. But you like them because they're your favorite rapper, they're your favorite singer, they're your favorite actor, they're your favorite pro athlete. So now you look at them as some kind of angel. You don't go like that, bro. It does not go like that at all, bro. But most of you lot are gonna continue to be fanatics. But it's funny because most of you lot watching me can't even like the video. Only under half of you bothered to like the video, which I find to be even interesting. And even nobody hit the super chat. Nobody could be bothered to support the live stream. But people got time to try and argue with me. It's interesting, man. It's interesting. This world is very interesting, because I could tell you now, if I was whatever rapper from the UK or whatever rapper from America, I would have 10 times as many people watching. I would have just as many likes under the video as people watching. People would probably be even hitting the super chat. People would have donated money to somebody who's already a millionaire. Then they would give them more money. The psychology is just so weird, like. It's weird, fam. But anyway, man, I'm gonna close it up there. I hope you lot enjoyed this video, whether you agreed or you disagreed with what was said about Michael Jackson. Let me know what your views are in the comment section below, and I'll just say, just do your own research in it. Yeah, do your own research. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to be posting more stuff like this. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, King Riches Official, and on TikTok, King Riches 2. Anyway, with that being said, I'm out of here. You lot take care. I'll be back again tomorrow.